In 2013 through 14, the number of children and youth ages 3 to 21 receiving special education services was 6.5 million, or about 13% of all public school students. Among students receiving special education services, 35% had specific learning disabilities.
Not being there, but
for two reasons. I have a daughter who went through school with other health disabilities, and she was dyslexic, and I was told in the 5th grade that she wouldn't make it out of high school because she wouldn't pass the MCAs. She has graduated from Moorhead. She's in the Women's National Honor Society for Women's Studies, and she has her EMT. She has her federal pharmaceutical assistant license, and she's thinking of pharmacy school. So I wanted to help other students whose teachers and parents have decided they couldn't do anything.
For many students in America, an IEP is available to them and their family. An IEP is a legal document that spells out a child's educational goals, disability, and the service and support that the school will provide to them.
Well, the disadvantage is sometimes the IEP is written more like a crutch, and the students, not everybody can do everything, but everybody should try to do the best they can, and then maybe a little more. Kind of push yourself. And people get very uncomfortable when you try to push special ed students because it's, but they've got a disability. But the real world isn't nice out there. So they have to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet. So that's your disadvantage, is it can be used as a crutch. Your advantage is it gives you extra time because they have an extra 3 years of transition. Well, it's till July 1st after your 21st birthday. So it might be 2 years, might be 3 years, might be 4 years. But you have extra time to work on things that you didn't have in high school.
Children from infancy through graduation are age 21, whichever comes first, with any of the following disabilities: autism, deaf, blindness, emotional disturbance, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, or other health impairments including ADHD, specific learning disabilities including dyslexia, speech or language impairments, traumatic brain injury, visual impairments including blindness, are all eligible for an IEP. To get an IEP, a student must take an evaluation that determines if a student is eligible for special education. This means that some students who need special education might not be qualified for it, making it harder in the classroom for them.
Probably the most difficult part of my job, because I work with transition 18 to 21-year-old students, is telling them the truth. Because they've been told in high school, if you try, you can do anything you want. Well, if you have an IQ in the 50s, you're not going to become a crime scene investigator like you see on TV, no matter what you do. If you have personality issues, if you can't socialize, if you don't take a shower, you're not going to get a job. And I've had many students I've had to say, point blank, if they can smell you from the lobby, you're not going to get the job because they don't shower. So being the bearer of bad news after being told for 12 years it was going to be fine is hard. But somebody has to tell them the truth, because you can't move forward if you don't have the truth. Watching my students succeed. And it doesn't have to be in a job. I had a student who in the 5th grade had a birthday party and no one went, which had to be crushing. I mean, nobody went. He now has a job. He's an editor of a newspaper. He's got friends. He has a girlfriend. He socializes. He stays in touch. That's what it's all about. I mean, since most of my students are ASD, watching them grow socially is the most important part. I'm even having dinner tonight with 3 former students. So that's really what's nice.
To help more students like the ones Miss Levinson mentioned, call schools or secondary programs to see about volunteering opportunities. You can also donate to local or national programs that help students find their place in the world, with or without an IEP.
Late at night, when you can't fall asleep, I'll be lying right beside you.